everybody, and welcome to another episode of Hyper Otaku Presents Anime Club here on Hyper RPG.
Hey.
What a time to be alive, you guys.
Yes.
Anime Expo is coming up this week, next week, depending on when this video posts / your interpretation of if weeks start on Sundays or on Mondays. Yeah. And
I'm excited.
It is. Yeah, I'm very
It's gonna be
excited.
great.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. Some highlights that are coming up, of course, there's going to be the premiere of the My Hero Academia movie.
Ooh, it's gonna be weird.
I have heard
It's gonna be a weird
some
one.
rumblings regarding Attack on Titan Season 3 that they
The
are
premiere.
actually going to be
Premiere,
showing
yeah.
the first episode.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Sort of fell off the Attack on Titan train myself, so
Just
I
read the manga.
don't know how interested I am in that, but I know that a lot of people are very excited about that. Anything else that you guys can think of off the top of your heads, Anime Expo?
I'll be working at the Relax Kuma Relax
yes, of
Lounge.
course.
It's a activation outside of Anime Expo at the Lux Hotel. You can go to Relax Kuma US Facebook page for more information about that. I think it's sold out though. I don't know. Just if you want to know about it, it was free. That's why it's sold out.
Yeah.
But we're gonna open some more spaces probably in a couple days.
Yeah.
Check that out.
And I'll be there. I'm gonna be wandering, exploring. I'll be doing some IRL stuff for Hyper. Guys, if there's anything that you want to see, tweet at us or comment in this video and let us know what you want me to go check out at Anime Expo. I'll go check it out for you guys. So.
And if you can't go to Anime Expo at all, there is an official live stream. It will be both on Anime Expo's Facebook page as well as their Twitch channel. It should just be twitch.tv/Anime Expo. And I believe it's also going to be integrated into the Anime Expo website.
Ooh.
They will be live streaming panels from Live Programming 1, which is Petrie Hall. And then there will be interstitial segments hosted by yours truly,
Woohoo, yeah.
as well as some other people who you guys might recognize from various streams around the internet. So, you can totally check that out and get all the Anime Expo buzz. Want to thank all of our patrons over on Patreon
Yes.
before we really dive into this episode here. We are a small company. We literally rely on your donations, be they on Twitch or through the different Patreon tiers to
Yes.
create content. And Matt, how close are you guys to your Patreon goal for hit points?
Oh man, hit points, guys. We are about 100. I think like last I checked, we were about 150 away. So we're getting
Wow.
closer and closer. Every dollar helps, and that helps. That makes you a patron, if even $1. So consider it. Come join and get all the benefits to help us produce a show. So yeah, man, make it happen. We're
Yeah.
almost there. I'm
Exactly.
really excited for that show.
You
so.
pay for a Netflix subscription or a Hulu subscription or a Funimation subscription. Think of it as a subscription, but it's cheaper because on Patreon you can give like $1.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, before we really dive into the news here, Michelle, I couldn't help but notice that when you were ill, you were on Twitter and you were tweeting about Voltron. So I assume that you have now caught up.
Yeah, I'm lame and I didn't start. I missed out on season 5 and 6 getting released. I just
okay.
forgot. So I was like,
Yeah.
well, I can't move at all today, so I'm gonna watch this. And I watched all of season 5 and all of season 6 in less than 8 hours somehow. Yeah, and
That checks out.
yeah, that checks
Yeah,
out.
that checks out.
The math is
episodes.
right.
Yeah.
They're like 20-minute episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so good.
I know.
I was so probably peaked there. I was so excited to like get caught up and to see why everyone was there's so much hype about these seasons. Because I'm very pessimistic, and I think people are like, "Oh, it's so good, it's so good." I'm very like, "We'll see."
Is it though? Yeah.
But it was very good. It lived the hype. The animation sequences for the battles, especially
Dude,
towards the end, holy cow.
so good.
yeah. I mean, I cannot talk enough about that. I don't want to spoil things, but like,
Yeah,
the
I
last
still need to watch
battles
season
are
6.
Very, very good.
Yeah.
Aren't they releasing the next season at Comic-Con? It's
They
coming
are
up like
they're
super
going
fast,
to be
right?
premiering the first episode of the next season
Yeah,
at
season
San Diego
7.
Comic-Con. So we'll get a chance to see that, which I am very, very
And
excited
we
for.
are going to report on that as soon as we see
We
it.
will, yeah,
Yeah,
we will definitely
yes.
do a review of that from San Diego.
We'll
And
also
I'm-
be at Comic-Con, so get in that Patreon to help us out with that Comic-Con
Heck
coverage.
yeah. I'm very, very excited about that. But I was just very delighted that you had caught up on
That's
Voltron
so
because
good.
Matt is not caught up.
Yeah.
So I haven't been able to talk to him about it, and I just needed somebody else to like
Jeez.
love this season as much as I
I messed
did.
up, guys. I messed up. I started watching Riverdale. It's like an ABC daytime soap. I messed up real bad.
No CW on the show.
But speaking of feelings and beautiful animation sequences, the official Yuri on Ice Twitter account teased some major news on Thursday when they revealed that at the end of the upcoming live musical event, Yuri on Concert, which will be live streamed, a major announcement is going to be made. It's been almost 2 years since the sleeper hit debuted on television / Crunchyroll back in 2016, and fans have definitely been wondering what to expect from the future. So far, Studio Mappa has confirmed that there will be a movie, but has yet to officially announce a second season. Depending on when this episode airs, we might already know exactly what it is that they have announced. But, Michelle, are you hoping for a season 2 announcement, or will you be satisfied simply with a release date for the film?
I think I want a release date for the film because,
Yeah.
to me, something that's a good film has a beginning and an end, right? And I think a season, it can go in a lot of different ways. There's so many characters to catch up with, so it will be hard to fit it all into a movie. But I'm excited for the movie. I would like to see what happens right afterwards. I'd like to see, but I'd like to see a complete story.
Sure.
And it will have more production value because it is, all the money we spent on one thing as opposed to like spread across 12 episodes.
Yes.
But yeah, of course there's going to be a second season at some point, right? Like,
I mean, that is my understanding, but it does also kind of raise the question because I think that anytime something is good, we immediately go, oh, we need a second season.
Mm-hmm.
Does Yuri on Ice need a second season?
Oh. I feel like it did wrap up things really nicely.
I do too.
And I know that people do want more. I mean, I'm not sure what the movie plot is about exactly.
I don't know that there's too many details on it, quite honestly.
I'm not sure if I just missed it or not, but I feel like a self-included, like an inclusive story of just like beginning of some kind of side adventure and the end of that side adventure, but we still have that goodness for the first season would be just enough for me because sometimes
I get that for sure.
Mess up things.
Yeah, totally. Especially something that is such a nice like slice of life piece. And the thing that Yuri on Ice did really well is like, it was about figure skating, but it was also really about like mental health issues and sexuality, and it was that was all kind of handled really nicely, I thought, in the first season,
and tied it up real good.
And I mean, and also the way that the first season ended, it was this very hopeful, we're going towards the future. Yuri Katsuki is now also living in Russia and training and skating, and then I also get into my concern a little bit with season 2 is this whole idea that like Victor would be his coach, but also competing, because I'm pretty sure that's not legal, like actual figure skating. And one of the things about the show that was also really great is the actual professional figure skating community really embraced it.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
And so when you start getting into territory of like, that's something you can't do.
I'm sure they'll fudge it up somehow. They'll be like, "This is a friendly tournament. There's no rules."
Yeah,
we'll
I think that I agree with you, Michelle. That like I do have a little bit of a fear that a second season might
because they might
not
backpedal
really be
on some
necessary.
stuff.
Yeah, or over-explain some things.
Yeah.
And
we don't need that.
Or just go back to the beginning
like
again
a good story,
and break all the relationships apart again and have them. This always happens in anime.
Yes.
Oh my god!
Oh,
When a couple gets together, hello Sailor Moon, they finally get together at the end of the season, and then beginning of the next season, they're not together for some inexplicable dumb reason. It's been the rest of the season trying to get back together. I'm like, I did this already.
Yeah. Well, and that was one of the things that I actually just in terms of Sailor Moon found frustrating about the 90s anime versus in the manga, because the manga, I mean, listen, Mamoru gets kidnapped and brainwashed more than is actually plausible. I don't understand what the benefit of it is, but if he's not kidnapped and brainwashed, they don't have the same kind of relationship tension that they added into the 90s anime. And but I'm with you, Michelle. It's like, I lived this story already. I don't need this. So I just don't want any of that. So anyway, but I love Yuri on Ice. I'm excited about this movie. Hopefully there is a solid release date and maybe some more details about the film. But also on July 1st, the latest anime from the world of Dragon Ball, Super Dragon Ball Heroes, a promotional series for the Bandai Namco arcade card battler Dragon Ball Heroes, is set to debut its first episode both online and at the Dragon Ball Heroes Universe Tour 2018 tournament in Saitama. Based on what we know about the series so far and the 30-second teaser of footage, Matt, are you looking forward to this series, particularly given its questionable relationship to actual Dragon Ball canon?
Nah, I'm gonna pass. It just doesn't look exciting to me. We just got this. We literally just finished Super.
I know.
Which was such a nice, like, it tied up everything. Like, it was a really good sequel to Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, and Dragon Ball, because I felt with
exactly.
Super that they incorporated more of the humor that we got from Dragon Ball into super.
Yeah, totally. So to me, it's like I already had that filled, and it's just it's not canon, and these stories like that are this complex that like involves everyone showing up are so convoluted and so like all over the place that I'm not really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
We might get some cool fight scenes if you're looking for like some fighting porn. Like,
yeah, I mean the fight scenes that were in the little teaser looked pretty good. And apparently they're adapting this like prison planet. This is the thing is that I think from a Western perspective, we don't have this game.
Yeah, we don't have it. We don't even have it.
It's an arcade game.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ooh.
Which it might. I would guess that the game would come out for like Steam or something.
Sure. Yeah.
Like be like a weird port, but we won't have the actual arcade version of it.
Yeah.
So we don't really have arcades here. It's a bummer. But
It is kind of a bummer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
arcades
want-
and
Dave and
banners.
Buster's, get on it.
Yeah, Dave and Buster's.
Yeah,
Get
Dave and
some
Buster's.
Dragon Ball arcade games.
Yeah, and the Luigi's Mansion game where you get to use the vacuum. So I want that. Anyways.
Yeah, I know. I kind of agree with you, Matt, where it feels very, very promo-y of like, we want to just keep putting Dragon Ball content out there instead of going, we just had Super. Super was a really great series.
Right.
We already know there's going to be a Super movie later this year, so why not just let Dragon Ball breathe?
Yeah, exactly.
And let us get excited about it. Dragon Ball Fighters is doing very well.
Yes.
So
It's a great game. Yo, Naeem.
Oh.
What do you think? Are you excited for this?
For Dragon Ball Super Dragon Ball Heroes, Naeem.
Yeah, it's like fan service.
Yeah, Naeem says it's like fan service. Yeah, that's a good way of putting
And
it.
you know what? That's fine if that's what they're. If we know what to expect. If we
Yes.
manage our expectations.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, I feel sort of neutral.
Yeah, it's
about
like,
it.
whatever. I'm not gonna watch it. That's the thing. It's like if someone puts it on, maybe but I'm not gonna go out of my way to check it out. I
Sure,
feel
yeah,
like
that makes total sense to me.
there's too much other stuff.
There is too much other
Like
stuff.
Voltron, I gotta watch that.
You gotta watch Voltron, and we all had to watch the rest of Record of Lodoss War.
Yeah,
Though
we did.
had to watch is not a good way to put it because it is a delight to watch the rest of Record of Lodoss War.
Yeah.
So this is the interesting thing. So Michelle, you were catching up on Voltron, and so in Voltron there is this D&D episode, and they took a lot of the inspiration for the character designs and the character archetypes that you see in that from Record of Lodoss War.
That's awesome.
Which is from D&D. So
Yes,
it
of
is
course,
all-
exactly.
Yeah.
Because Joaquim Dos Santos, who's one of the showrunners, like really loves tabletop role playing games, so he really wanted to do this episode. Lauren Montgomery, the other showrunner, is a huge otaku, and so she loved Record of Lodoss War, and this was kind of a marriage of those things.
That's
That was
awesome.
a great episode. But yeah, obviously Record of Lodoss War, like it's so pure D&D.
It really is. I mean, almost to the point of being predictable.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then again, this came out before everyone knew there were tropes of these things. you
That's
know?
very true.
We've had like years. We've had like a decade of Lord of the Ringses
Yes.
to get us like mentally prepared for knowing what happens when there's a dwarf. When knowing what happens
Right.
when there's a dwarf, there's always a empty dwarven cave somewhere full of corpses. When there's an elf, that means that their spirit is used for something to make evil plans. We know the tropes now, but before they didn't in the early 90s, 80s, late 80s.
Yeah, I mean, this was 1990, so it would have been animated in the 80s.
I never finished this. Watching it, I never got to watch the second half, and I remember before,
Originally.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like so happy I finally got to do it. And
Right.
Spoilers, but I'm really bummed that when Gim had to,
Well,
that was a abrupt end to
it was
Gim.
yeah,
It
exactly.
really
It felt
was.
weird. I
And
was
it's so funny because I remember being so shocked by that when I watched this as a young teenager, that in my mind a lot more people died after him, but no, nobody really did.
Yeah.
Like, none
They're
of the
just like-
party characters died besides Gim.
It's almost like they were like, we plan on introducing 2 to 3 more characters, so we have to get rid of one.
Yeah.
But if it's based on a
crazy.
D&D replay, but I kept trying to figure out. I was like,
he had to
okay.
reroll?
I was like, okay, are Shiris and Orsan, are they NPCs? Are they somebody's new characters?
Yeah.
Are they just like the friends that drop in every once in a while and play?
Yeah, there's definitely, I think, the novels and the actual gameplay, like they do diverge at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly. I haven't read all of them.
Yeah.
But I think like Gim because like Woodchuck goes away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so does Gim.
We don't really get
So
any
I think-
resolution on that either.
Exactly.
He's just still possessed by Carla.
Poor
Yeah.
Woodchuck. I mean, he's got a kick-ass like circlet now, but
I know.
those two characters, whoever's playing those two characters, like now they're playing. Maybe they're
It makes sense to
Chittis
me.
and
Yeah, maybe
Orson.
they're
That's what I
shooting
thought.
on. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of what I was thinking as well. Or one of them took over playing Lelia when she ended up being not Carla anymore.
God,
You
yeah,
know?
I don't know. And then basically Deedle is like unplayable for like half the damn thing.
I know. and that was a thing that I remember really, really bothered me as a teenager watching this was it really bummed me out that Deedle did not get to participate in the final battle.
Yeah, I mean it
You know?
goes
Yeah.
along with the trope of like the girl needs saved.
Right.
So
Right.
she goes like. Also, her capture. Can we talk about this real quick?
Yeah.
They try to capture her once, then she gets away because everyone's like helping or whatever.
Right.
And the second time, it's just kind of like, I don't. Guys, how does she get captured so easily? I don't understand.
I don't really understand.
Well, you gotta watch out for energy
either.
spheres.
I just
Yeah.
They're
God,
really dangerous.
God.
Yeah. That's my thing is I there is a great scene in this where they go into the when they go into Fire Dragon Mountain
Uh-huh.
and they're all fighting and that was where the where you think Ashram dies and like Purita. Oh my god, that
was very good.
that episode's great. And in that episode, you see Deedlit use her elementals.
Mhm.
And,
Yeah.
and again, you see that she is this really powerful sort of mystical being.
Yeah.
One or two episodes later, she's just kidnapped and that's it.
And she
Yeah.
just like, what
He was
bothered
like,
me about
plot-
it, which is like, for the times, it was like the trope, whatever, is
Yeah.
that when it cut to her in the stasis, she would just be like, pardon.
I
I'm like, oh,
know.
you like Deed.
Like,
Deed,
okay,
oh, come on,
let's be
dude.
real. Like, Madhouse loves when girls cry. Like, they animated the shit out of her
do.
tears.
Sure did. They
It
were
looked
very
beautiful. Like,
sparkly and
it
beautiful.
looked
Look at those
beautiful.
tears.
But all she did was lay there and cry for like the whole last episode, and it killed me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like God, because even
Yeah.
at this point, Pure Tess is gone. Like, so I'm like,
Sure.
there's like no female characters left except for Shittis, who's
Yeah.
kind of like,
And Lelia.
oh right.
Yeah. And Lelia goes into the battle with them too. But
Right.
immediately when the tentacle monster shows up, it grabs her. So
Yoink.
fun times.
Yeah.
Waka
But anyway,
waka.
But I
Yeah.
do think that one of my favorite parts of this second arc of this season is that the relationship between Ashram and Pure Tess does kind of like
Yes.
they kind of like, yeah, like she loves him and he's kind of like, oh shit, I do love you. When-
Yes,
now that I know,
I
now that you're dead,
know.
and then like the evil spirit convinces him to like do away with that love.
know.
That was that's a very powerful moment.
I agree,
Yeah.
and I do kind of like that. Ultimately, the ending is really just Ashram and Vag. What? Oh my God! Why am I totally drawing a blank?
Red robe dude, red robes.
Red robes, dude.
Yeah.
Red robes,
Red
dude.
robes, dude.
Oh.
Yep, I'll Google it.
Who's like purpose in the show? I'm still a little confused about. to be completely honest, I'm like, so you were in like episode 2 for a second, and I know you control a dragon, but I don't really understand what's happening.
Well, I mean, it basically came down to it was kind of they had like two different goals basically, where Ashram wanted to basically be Beld's successor,
right. So he
and
wanted that
rule
staff.
Marmo,
Right. And then the other,
But the other guy wanted to resurrect the goddess.
okay, and the
Because as far as I can tell, Ashram really didn't have any interest in resurrecting the goddess. He just
Yeah.
was like, no, I just kind of want to like
like, wanted power.
yeah,
Yeah.
And then Carla was like, "Yo, Ashram, get up.
yeah.
Make sure this other guy doesn't take control. Because also, I'm Carla, and all of my motivations are also a little unclear."
Vagnard.
Yeah,
I
there's
was
a lot
like,
of that.
his name is Vagnard. I wanted to say
Oh.
Wagner, and I'm like, that's a guy who writes operas. That's not right.
Close.
Yeah. No, I find Carla to be a totally fascinating character, even if I'm not entirely. I don't know. I think I am fairly clear on her intentions, which
Yeah,
is
okay.
basically just like, I'm here to cause chaos where chaos is needed to restore order. Like, she's just kind of the circle of life to make sure that Lodoss is never destroyed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that last part, I understood that part, but then the rest of it was like, but I feel like they're kind of messing up everything with their dragons fighting and shit. Like, isn't this? Are they kind of destroying the land with their wars? That's
Yeah,
just me.
but I think that it is there is an element of these things happen in cycles, and
Mhm.
and basically she is ensuring that sort of like the cycle of renewal continues.
Okay, all right.
Instead of just coming to a total end game.
All right,
Yeah,
Carla
and
Woodchuck.
I think it kind of makes sense, like why it's kind of like that too. I mean, this is kind of coming from the stories of people's tabletop adventures,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
So like I feel like sometimes it's gonna get kind of muddy. So
Man, this is first edition D&D, guys. You know
first edition.
how many rules there were? Didn't make any
Oh
sense.
my god, there were so many rules.
Oh, thank God
It's
for
am-
fifth edition.
It's amazing they got anything done. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
No, it's true. It's interesting. I think that this series, again, I enjoyed it all the way through, and it starts off so strong, but then at the end, it does kind of become like it escalates to insanely epic.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We're resurrecting gods very quickly.
Yes. But it ends, it's just, Parn just has two swords, and that's how he ends it. He gets into the thing and
He
releases
just-
Yeah,
his
he,
steed
like,
leg.
he, like, crosses-
kind of like
Because the idea
willed his way in.
Yeah.
Well, the message that the voiceover has at the very end of the final episode is something to the effect of, you can't have light without darkness. And so Parn was a boy who dreamed of being a hero, and he wanted to squash out the darkness and have only light. But he kind of realized that he needed both, because with the
He
two
had
swords,
both
that's how he was
swords.
able
Yeah.
to break through the barricade and stop Deedlit from being sacrificed to resurrect Cardis. Was she going to become Cardis?
I don't
I
know.
imagine her being like the shell.
That's kind of what I
That's what I
thought too.
thought.
I figured
thought
that
they were
was
using
why
her
they-
life force because elves live forever.
Yeah.
So that was kind of.
But why did they put her in that dress then?
Also, like, isn't there more than one GD elf in this world? Like, think about it. Do you have to pick an elf who is like in the middle of this battle who is a warrior? They could have found like some random other high elf. Like,
Yeah.
there's tons of these elves about, I assume.
Yeah. Again, it all comes back to my disappointment with how things end in the story.
Eh,
Needlet.
yeah. It's a beautiful last scene, though. I would
Oh,
say.
yeah. The last scene's great.
I like the last
Doesn't make
scene.
any sense, but it's.
But yeah, I mean, especially when you look at something like, for example, Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. I understand how Zelda got captured more so than I understand how Deedlit got captured, though it's kind of similar, where just suddenly an energy bubble appears and she gets captured.
Yeah.
But you go in and save her, and she is participating in the final battle.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
I wanted them to like actually face off against the
I
god
I mean,
or
especially
something.
like you establish that she's such a strong, badass character. And
And then they
it's
never
just
let her
so-
do anything.
Yeah, she
Wait.
could have gone off. You know what I mean?
Gone
Like, roll
off.
all the stats, man.
Well, instead, what we got was Parn saves the day. They flash forward to like a ceremony of him
Yeah.
getting knighted or some shit. And
Yeah.
he's definitely going to take this armor this time, and he don't.
He don't.
He's like sneaking down like the
It's also
stairwell.
really weird to me that the character design that we see in like faraway flashbacks for Parn's dad and King Kashue like look basically the same, and nothing ever comes of that.
Yeah, there's just Kashue is like his like
His
ideal
father figure.
Yeah,
his,
yeah.
his father and
I
his
will be a father.
yeah, maybe his
figure.
boyfriend. We don't really know.
Yeah,
and then,
I'm kind of with you on that.
yeah, but
I
then
get
they
that.
leave. Deedlit's just like, "Oh, are you gonna leave without me? I'm standing by this door waiting for you to leave." I'm like, "Girl, go do something else."
Yeah. He all right, but
But it was a cute like cyclical thing where they leave together and then we start
Yeah.
seeing the scenes from the intro.
yes,
Where it's Parn and Deedlit all by themselves
Yeah,
traveling the
off on an
world,
adventure
and you're like,
and-
"Oh, the
Oh, now this
beginning
makes
is
sense.
the end."
Yeah.
Not the begin.
Dude, I had a bit of confusion watching because there was a moment after the Gim's death episode where I like took a break for a couple of days and I came back and I was like resume on Funimation and then like it started off in this. I'm like, oh, there's new characters. Like, oh, Parn's old now. Oh, I'm like, okay, this makes sense. That's kind of
Wow,
weird.
what a time jump.
What a time jump. And it was like episode 9, and then like I watched all of them. Like this is, and I'm like, I finished episode 13. I'm like, wait, there's only 13. Why is there more? I'm like, I'm like, oh, this is the wrong. This is part 2.
yeah, you were watching Chronicle of the Heroic Knight.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my god. But it just like because of how the story tended, like watching it for the first
Yeah.
time, like how it kind of jumped around, like. It made sense that it would do that, but it definitely was not correct.
That's
And I was like, that's a
hilarious.
weird choice to add these weird, like kawaii animated versions of endings about chocolate elf. I don't know. It was weird, but
Yeah, I started watching after the last episode, like 12 or whatever. I started watching that other weird season after that, and I was like, Whoa!
It's real different.
They had $5 to do this one. Let's.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
it's so
animation
bad.
does
Yeah.
not look
It's
good.
so bad.
It really doesn't.
I watched like 10 minutes and I turned off.
also was so confused because again, I had convinced myself that so many more of the characters in this died. In my mind, Shiras and Orson didn't make it, and then like Shiras is in the thumbnail for the first episode of Chronicle of the Heroic Knights. Like, I guess she makes it, but the animation quality has gone down so much that I'm looking at it going, is that
Who
Shiras?
is? It could be anyone.
Yeah.
Just some girl with red hair.
Yeah. I like Shiras and Orson though. I think they were good additions.
I think they could have had a good side storyline.
No,
There's a lot of unsaid things there.
there definitely are. Yeah, they're characters that I could have gone on a journey with.
Yeah.
and especially because they make it very clear that Orson is definitely in love with Shiras, even though she, for whatever
Even
reason,
though
loves
Shiras
Mars.
kind of sucks.
Oh, I like Shiras.
She's aight, but they throw in their, they made her character like, you're just here to like fall. Like, oh, you girl, you love part. And I'm like, God.
I don't disagree with that, but I
Yeah.
do like that she is pretty sassy and capable, and she doesn't. And even though she is in love with Parn, she's not like jealous of Deedlit or
Right.
anything.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just
Just
like,
more of
"Ugh,
like a
let's go."
sadness.
Yeah, that's true. They could have been anything with that.
Look at this dumb elf bitch. You know what I mean?
It's like an Angelica from Hamilton kind of syndrome, right?
I mean, I wouldn't exactly call it the same as that,
Settle down, Matt.
but I get where you're coming from, though, Matt. Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah.
And I do like, for all that, again, I sort of feel like, well, this escalated to dragons and gods really quickly. I did actually like that ultimately Vagnard and Ashram destroyed each other.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a good symmetry there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so overall, guys, go watch Record of Lodoss
Oh
War.
yeah,
It's
you
so
should
good.
definitely watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
Avoid the reboots if you can.
Yeah, this is the pinnacle of and beginning of like Japanese high fantasy.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
in the OVA, the animation is spectacular.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
It
so
still
good.
looks
It holds
so
up.
good.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Dude, those dragons look so sweet.
Oh, I know. I love the
know.
design of the dragon.
Yeah, they look so cool,
Yeah,
man.
it's of an age, and it is definitely. I mean, if you're even mildly interested in animation, like it is so telling of the style that made anime famous
Yeah.
across the world.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get it.
And it carries over that sort of gritty charm of 80s anime,
Mhm.
but it was made in the early 90s,
Right.
so it doesn't it's not as like, it doesn't have that 80s anime style as
Mhm.
much to it, but it still has that good feel.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
very
Madhouse definitely took some. They definitely like took their old style and were trying to see how much more detailed they could make it.
Mhm.
Because if you look at, say, I don't know, their first edition of like Vampire Hunter D compared
Oh
to
my
this,
gosh.
you could see the similarities
Right.
so much.
You
Yes,
totally
absolutely.
But
can.
they've added more. There's like, let's just put a shitload of detail, and we're not going to animate it so much as we're going to move it
Yeah.
slowly across the screen. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
A lot of the dragons are like that. They don't actually move around. They just go.
Yeah.
It's just one piece of art moving across the screen.
Yeah.
And you're
still.
like, I'm into it, man.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
so into
it's
that.
very beautiful.
Also, I mean, I rewatched Vampire Hunter D maybe a year or so
Mhm.
ago, and I also found that animation to hold up really, really
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I really think, I mean, obviously, it is not as detailed as something like this, or obviously Madhouse's newer projects, but
Mhm.
it, you know,
Yeah, before computers, guys. Whoop.
dang, they were at the forefront of
Yeah.
animation in Japan, certainly. All right, well, next
Yay.
week is Anime Expo,
Yay.
so we are going to do sort of like an Anime Expo special.
Mhm.
Yes,
We're
yeah.
gonna try to film some stuff down at the convention and throw together some stuff for you, so you guys have a week off of watching anime. So think about what series you would like us to cover next. We kind of are leaning towards doing a double feature of, we just did Record of Lodoss War, so we sort of want to do Slayers
I want it
next.
so bad.
Not Slayers next. That's also a
that's-
season of Slayers.
it is.
We're going to do the first season of Slayers to be sort of a companion to this, which is, Record of Lodoss War. I wish my D&D game was like this. Slayers, this is what my D&D game is actually like. So if you have any strong objections, let us know. But otherwise, that is what we are planning on doing. But again, that
Yay.
will not be next week. We are instead going to do some Anime Expo recapping coverage. Have a good old time. So in the meantime, Matt, where can the people find you?
Guys, find me here at Hyper RPG, and make sure to check out all of our stuff. We got, Emma's just finished doing She did Sailor Moon. You were on it too.
Yeah, Michelle was on my Sailor Moon
RPG.
RPG.
It was real good. Oh, we have a bunch of one shots. We have a My Hero Academia one.
Yeah.
Make sure to check it out on our YouTube and be here on Twitch.
I GM both of those.
Yeah.
Emma's a really good GM, guys.
Yeah,
I'm not even
he
joking.
is.
Super good. And you could follow me at Shy Guy Express if you're not already, and come talk to me about like video games and anime and shit. So
And shit.
and shit. Yeah.
I am Michelle Chubby Bunny. You can find me everywhere on the internet at I am Chubby Bunny. Probably look at my Instagram because it's gonna be wild the next couple weeks. I would say
It's con season.
It's con
It
season.
is con season.
I also do a comedy and talking podcast called Senpai Buddies. You can find that at senpaibuddies.com.
And I am Emma Fife. I can be found all over the internet, wherever Emma Fifes are sold, at my name. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. I'll be keeping up with my Instagram stories as much as I can during all these crazy con ventures that I'm about to go on. And be sure to tune into that Anime Expo live stream next week if you guys want to see some real-time coverage of all the action that's happening there. And again, your assignment is to just get hyped about Anime Expo next week, guys. And until next time, this meeting
Oh wow.
of the Hyper Otaku Anime Club is adjourned.
She's hulking out. Help her. Hey, big guy.
What was it? Sun's going down. Sun's going down.